This video is about how to add a calculated column onto an array. I'm Adam Steinfurt. This is the Prolific Oak Tree channel, where we talk mostly about spreadsheets. So let's talk about this one. On the left, you have raw data. Okay, so there's always something you're wanting to summarize in a spreadsheet. And the challenge that we're having is that we can summarize it. So here we've used the filter function, and we have said, please filter that entire range, so A5 through D104, by looking at column B and allowing only the rows through that have LTL in them. So the shipping method of LTL is the only thing this filter function is going to let through. When I hit enter, the output is right here. And what I mean by an array is that this formula only lives in cell F5, but it's writing its values to the right and below. So it's covering multiple cells from one formula. And what we're trying to do is add a column here that's not in the data. So for every item that's shipped LTL, we want to know the profit. So that would be, in this case, H5 minus I5. But you can't just type the formula in here, because then if this report expands and contracts, because this is dynamic, that formula is not going to expand and contract with it. So what you want to do, you want to have this array, and then you want to append another array to it. So let's look at this function. It's already written, and there's a trick here. So let me go over to the right to make that show better. All right, we'll double click in here. And what is happening to make this column before we put it together is that we're doing the same filter function, except we're only returning the columns that we want to work with. So let's go back here and look. The price is in column C, the cost is in column D, and to get the profit, we want to do C minus D. But it's complicated, and you're probably at this video because you need to do it after the filter function. Okay, because we don't want to be calculating the truckload and the third party and the vendor range. We just want LTL. So let's go back here, look at this column. What we've done is we've returned the filter function results just for C, just for D, and subtracted the two. So there's a subtraction sign. And then you need to wrap it in a function called ARRAYFORMULA, and that's what allows you to output more than one cell. So let's hit enter. I am going to share a link to this spreadsheet in the description, so you'll be able to just copy some of this and modify it to have your own formulas. But we're to the point now where we have an array here, we have this array, they're related, we want them in the same function, right? So all you have to do is copy this one, put that on my clipboard, come over to F5, and the first step is to add a curly brace to the formula. So what that does is it tells Google Sheets this is the first element in an array, and I'm going to be giving you more. So we're going to tell it the next one by hitting a comma. And then I'm going to paste this formula here onto the end, and then we're going to close this in a curly brace. We'll hit enter. And we've now added that calculated column onto the original array for one giant array now that has these dynamic values. So let's test one. Let's go over to aluminum. We're going to change the cost to a very large number, and we watched it flow through. If you want to learn more about arrays, this next video is going to show you how to use a query function, which does just about anything you want, including probably an easier method of doing this. See that in this video coming up. Thanks for watching.